Welcome to Silicon Valley Nonprofits, a service of KMVT Community Media. I'm Bev Lenahan, your host. Today our guest is Barbara Otto, Board Chair of Grateful Garment. Thank you for being with us, Barbara. It's nice to have you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, it's a pleasure to learn more about Grateful Garment. I must say, the first time I heard the term Grateful Garment, my mind went to the homeless, but I know your vision and mission is an expansive view of the homeless. What is the Grateful Garment vision and mission?
Well, the mission of the Grateful Garment Project is to provide resources to victims of sexual violence to help them reclaim their dignity and start the road to healing. We do that by partnering with hospitals, rape crisis centers, law enforcement, and community-based organizations that are on the front lines dealing with sexual violence.
So you're backfilling in a way to make them stronger and to be able to do their work as well.
Exactly. Yes.
Well, this is such a sensitive subject, but what are some of the repercussions of sexual abuse today in our society?
Well, unfortunately, there is something positive, first of all.
Good.
Is that the statistics for sexual violence are declining.
Oh, wow.
But that is still happening. In fact, every 92 seconds, an American experiences some sort of sexual violence, whether it be assault, molestation, rape. And every 9 minutes, one of those victims is a child.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Oh, it's hard to fathom, really.
It really is. And in terms of victims under the age of 18, 2/3 are between the ages of 12 and 17, which means that 1/3 are under the age of 12.
Oh.
And that is a sobering statistic.
Sobering, absolutely. And so what are the repercussions to our society as we see these dreadful numbers?
Yes. So somebody who's been a victim of a sexual crime is 4 times more likely to have PTSD as an adult, less likely to graduate from high school,
Oh, goodness.
more likely to become a substance abuser, drugs or alcohol, and unfortunately more likely to continue the cycle of violence that they have been a victim of.
And that trauma, it just replays, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Unless there's some kind of intervention.
Yes,
for sure. Well, I know you're trying to make things more humane through this whole process of recovery. And you have what's called resource closets.
We do.
So tell us more about the resource closets that Grateful Garment has.
Okay. The resource closet was our original program. We have since expanded, and we now have 6 complete separate programs. But the resource closet is really our core, and it's how we got started. So you may or may not know that once you've been the victim of a sexual crime, if you go to have a rape kit done, which is actually called a forensic exam at a sexual assault response team facility, you are asked to surrender your clothing for DNA evidence. If you surrender your clothing, there's nothing for you to wear home. You leave the site of your exam in a disposable hospital gown or a pair of paper scrubs.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
I find that completely unacceptable.
Abhorrent.
Yes. So we go into the facilities where the exams are performed, and we establish what we call our resource closets. And in the resource closets, we put in clothing from sizes 3T toddler to 3, 4, 5X adult, a few items in each size, socks, underwear, sports bras, leggings, sweatpants, sweatshirts, T-shirts. So a complete outfit of clothing is ready for the victim when they need it. And the brilliant idea of having these in the facilities where the exams are performed is that the forensic nurses who are performing the exams have immediate access to all of the resources that are needed. And in addition to clothing, we stock these with toiletry items. Imagine brushing your teeth, how good that would feel. Combs, hairbrushes, deodorant, body wash, all of that kind of thing.
Make someone feel human again, maybe.
Exactly, exactly. It's an important first step on the road to healing.
Yes.
Right? Because you are being treated. So these forensic nurses are amazing people. I mean, this is a tough job to do. And they don't want to continue the victimization of the individual. So they're very helpful and grateful for this kind of assistance that we can provide.
Well, that's very important. I didn't realize how close that partnership was. And I imagine trying to make room to stock these pieces of clothing so that something is immediately available. That means establishing those partnerships as you go along.
Yes,
right?
and sometimes, as we all know, finding space for things can be challenging.
Absolutely, especially today. And then there's the other side of it, collecting all of that, just to make it available for people. So that outreach is sort of expanding, I understand. So I knew a Grateful Garment when they were a small office in San Jose, and now I understand you are moving beyond that throughout California and beyond. So tell us some more about that.
Right, the Grateful Garment Project became a 501c3 California nonprofit on May 17th in 2011.
Oh.
And we started with one resource closet in Santa Clara County. Happens to be Valley Medical Center, which is where in Santa Clara County you would go if you needed to have a forensic exam performed. Many people are not aware that you cannot just walk into any hospital and have this procedure done.
I sure wasn't aware.
And it's very important when you think about it, because the exams must be done in clean rooms with certified personnel to keep the chain of evidence intact.
Do the first responders generally know that's what needs to happen?
Yes, they do.
No, that's encouraging.
Yes.
And I can understand why you want a clean environment for all this. We forget how important every bit of evidence is.
Yes.
I love to watch that stuff on TV, but you wonder how much of it's really true. But I think we understand it really is.
Yeah, and in these instances, keeping the DNA separated, and you don't want to have anything that can be challenged in court, obviously. The conviction rate for sexual crimes is astonishingly low. Astonishingly low.
And is that a lot because contamination occurs?
You know, sexual crimes are very difficult to prove in court, and it's just a very complicated procedure. And even the government statistics tell us that only about 1/3 of all sexual crimes are reported.
Well, I can understand that, but I didn't realize it was that low.
There's still a lot of shame involved with being the victim of a sexual crime.
I'm reading a book now that talks about the brother of a sister abusing her, and she was of a certain church and never even knew or imagined what was going on with her. And she's suddenly beginning to realize what has gone on for a very long time. And now she feels stuck on what to do about it.
Yeah. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of bravery to take those steps and to reach out and ask for law enforcement aid and assistance. And I want to encourage anyone who's out there and who has been the victim, or if you ever know anyone, if anyone has confided in you, please encourage them to get a SART exam. It's just the first step. It's a grueling exam. It takes a minimum of 3.5 hours.
Oh, my goodness.
And as you can imagine, it is extremely invasive.
I'm sure.
After you've already experienced a trauma, to go through this again. And that's one reason why providing these resources is so critical.
Yes.
Because it's humanizing the process and making it more comfortable. Not that it's ever going to be easy or comfortable, but
That's a big step, though, just to feel that you're going to regain some amount of respect after the whole ordeal is over.
Exactly. And you can just imagine the difference of walking out to the parking lot in a disposable hospital gown,
Oh, goodness.
as opposed to leggings and a sweatshirt. I mean, it's night and day. It's
Well,
night and day.
You are expanding. So where else in California or beyond California are you going?
Yes. So far in this, so this is 2019, so in 8 years, we have expanded to 50 California counties.
Oh, my goodness.
We have partnerships with over 100 agencies that are on the front line.
Oh, that is such good news.
It's amazing.
Great.
It's really amazing. So every Bay Area county and pretty much every large metropolitan county, about 90% of all of the citizens in California would have access to resources from the Grateful Garment Project if they needed them.
In 8 years.
In 8 years.
Oh, that's fabulous. Oh, that's such good news. I think it's a pretty easy case to sell in terms of getting people to want to provide resources, whether it's your hard goods that you need, the clothing, or financial support. What kind of additional support can people give you so that you can continue to expand and go beyond California?
One thing that is important to keep in mind is that all of our clothing that we distribute to our partners must be new. That is a California Health Code regulation.
That makes sense.
And also, you don't want any risk of any kind of DNA contamination.
Sure.
So it's vital that all of the clothing is new and not gently used. And we do get that question a lot.
Sure.
And I know that we all have things that we want to go, to
help.
Exactly. But everything we have must be new. But we are in the unique position that we can accept in-kind donations.
Good.
And many community organizations and businesses and service clubs like Lions and Rotary and that sort of thing, they do drives for us.
Oh, good.
Resource drives.
And probably faith organizations as well.
Yes, faith organizations are quite supportive. And right now in this 2019, in this calendar year, we are doing a leggings drive.
Oh, good.
So we are trying to acquire 10,000 pairs of leggings.
Whoa.
That's a lot of leggings.
Well, I want to encourage our guests, our viewers, to get a hold of the Grateful Garment. So give your website address one more time.
Yes, gratefulgarment.org.
Very good. Thank you so much for being with us today, Barbara. It's been a joy to hear more, and I'm so thankful to hear that you've made such wonderful progress in 8 years. Continued good fortune on this very, very important topic.
Thank you so much.